Guys, FedEx, or Federal Express, was established by this man, grumpy picture taker Frederick W. Smith, in Little Rock, Arkansas in 1971.
He takes some shits.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
That's how he started. He wanted to send people his shits.
Right. How do I get it there faster?
Doctors writing them prescriptions for wider pipes.
He's a big man.
Oh, yeah!
Good morning!
And welcome to another episode of Hard Factor.
Thank you, Wes. Thank you, Wes. It's episode 1493, Monday, July 1st, 2024. The start of Freedom Week, where Americans can be free to open podcasts in accent.
That's right.
Freedom Week.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Everyone got full daycare this week? No. Daycare takes off this week. It's not Freedom Week.
Freedom to parent your kids an extra day.
Well, for America, I mean, it's Freedom Week. But yeah, I mean, for
fourth, maybe.
For individuals, they might have some struggles dealing with the days off. Yeah, it's part of it.
Grill up some hot dogs and pop them in those kids' mouths. You know what I mean?
Not excited about Freedom Week, Pat?
Yeah.
It's my favorite holiday, 4th of July.
I mean, it's pretty good.
Speaking
now
of,
we have...
We'll
June
probably have
kicks off freedom season basically. So you got a whole couple weeks to,
Speaking of which, we'll probably have like a not new show either the 4th or the 5th. We're going to release something, but we're also going to
probably have a real one on the 5th or like a one you haven't heard yet, and then something on the 4th because most people won't listen on the 4th. You're probably face down in a cooler somewhere, like biting out beers with your bare teeth. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80% accuracy guaranteed. Patreon.com/hard factor for more. Today, we're accidentally firing a rocket into a hurricane with a FedEx camera strapped to it and taking a look at brain data as well. Classic Monday lineup for you.
How is that accidental? That sounds amazing and on purpose.
You'll find out.
Okay.
I mean, it kind of mashed up everything we're talking about into that one sentence, but yeah.
Fair enough.
I like the mashup idea for the title. I like it. It's good.
It's great. It's just SEO hates it. That's
SEO does.
That's what stinks. It's like you come up with like a clever mashup, and then the computers are like, "Oh, I don't know what to do with it. What is it?"
Right. AI and internet algorithms have not learned humor or wit at all.
And then the next thing you know, you've got 10 emails from guys in West accent being like, "Hello, Mr. Factor. We noticed your SEO.
Your SEO scores.
You want to see what I can do?"
Yeah. Thank you, Shorov. Trivia was incredible on Friday night. I finally got back in the winners column by getting put on Tim A's team, 4th in a row for him. Patreon.com/hard factor to play us some trivia.
We never brought Al on to be Showbot to battle Showrov, did we?
No, we haven't.
We can get a new Showrov.
Tried.
Just look at our emails. We can get a Showrov on tomorrow. Sure.
Look at our Instagram. Look at our emails. There's a million.
True. There's a billion Showrovs offering to increase our SEO.
Yeah.
They might all be Showrov, but he creates different accounts.
Right.
They get so upset when you expose them that they're con men.
Yeah. Well, don't use that terminology. Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean,
who else gets really mad?
Bro, how do you expect results unless you allow the work to occur, bro?
Yeah, if being number one SEO expert's con man, then yeah.
Con man here.
Big con, yeah.
All right, let's do some news.
SEO scores. Yeah.
I have today a segment I'm going to call "This is some bullshit." So first up, a bunch of U.S. military bases in Europe have been moved up to the second highest alert, Charlie alert, which usually means a credible source is reporting an imminent terrorist threat.
Well, right. I mean, wouldn't Putin like saying he's ready to go to nuclear war like constitute Charlie?
I don't know they haven't said exactly what it is, but this is the highest alert these bases have been on in over 10 years, according to some U.S. officials. There's the chart. You see Charlie's orange, imminent threat of terrorism. Only Delta's worse, which is they know like the exact spot the terrorist attack is going to happen.
Thank God Charlie's not yellow.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. They wouldn't have that in today's government, Wes.
No,
that would
They probably thought about it and they said, let's just make it orange.
they switched it from the 70s chart.
That's 60 shows with an Asian joke.
Well, Wes has a half Asian kid. That was from Wes, who has a half Asian son.
Correct.
So
If you mention
He's biologically
chainsaw, it'll be 100 shows.
there
you go.
Yeah, horror movies and
Not even close.
yeah.
We have a few things that are shoehorned into the show permanently. That's for sure.
That's right. Now the bases are in Germany, Italy, Romania, and Bulgaria, and we have some friends of the show we know for sure. Some members of the Heart of Hive and military bases in Germany and Italy, and probably all those places really.
And we just had somebody rejoin the Discord who just got deployed. So everybody stay safe.
Yeah, hopefully everyone stays safe on this 4th of July week. And I say this is some bullshit, is what I say, because we don't like it when the threat level has imminent threat of terrorism. The only thing, so Charlie's orange, Delta's red, and hey, terrorists, how about you just not? How about you not? And one of the bases, I guess, is the U.S. Army garrison in Stuttgart, Germany, where that's the U.S. European Command. That's the HQ headquarters. So Germany has now brought in 580 extra international police to deal with the threat. I don't know what they're going to do, like look in the sky or like check backpacks or what. But
yeah. I mean, so you got to think it's coming. The threat, then, if they're on high alert in Stuttgart, you got to think the threat is Eastern Europe or east of that, right? So
potentially,
Normal, just normal. You can't come up with a cooler name than normal. Like,
for what?
Charlie, Alpha.
Oh yeah,
Delta, Tango, normal.
Yeah. What about normal?
Like,
no,
couldn't it
enemy.
be cool.
Fine.
Yeah, fine. Coolio.
Isn't it probably always
Smooth.
alpha? How do you know it? How do you know that there's no threat at all? Like it's got to be
always
like,
it's always at least alpha.
it's got to be base level alpha possible.
B, C, D.
Threat. There you go.
right. Also, normal's
Crack the
not
code.
because those are like Greek letters, right? Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. No,
No,
they're like it's like code.
It's the military alphabet.
It's like military code, right? So why is normal there? It's weird. Yeah, it's out
What
of
is
place.
the N in military? Nancy?
No,
Nancy.
Nancy's not allowed.
Let's take a guess. I would say Nova,
Ooh, Nova's a good one. Neptune.
Neptune.
Maybe? Yeah.
You guys gonna?
I like
wager a
Nancy.
bet.
No, I don't really care. But Nancy's the best one. They should. If I was in there, I'd just go with Nancy. It's easiest to
It's
remember.
November, dude.
Oh
November.
fuck, November.
That- how many syllables is that? That's absurd.
November tree.
Tree.
Yeah.
All right, so this is also coming around the same time. Fears are rising of potential issues in France, right, over the Olympics, which starts the end of this month. Opening ceremonies are July 26th, and there is a fear that, like at the 1972 Munich Games, the 1996 Atlanta Games, and the 2008 Beijing Games, there might be a terrorist attack or two. So that's some bullshit, if you ask me, which is why this terrorist stuff is in the "This Is Some Bullshit" segment.
Yeah.
I mean, the terrorism attack is likely to come from the French people themselves. So, based on
Well,
what
They might all
they've been
shit.
saying.
They might all shit on the stadium. Like
Yeah.
at the same time, just drop trow in the stands and just shit, fill the entire stadium with shit.
That's right,
You know-
because go ahead, Pat.
You know where there really was some bullshit was the coward Eric Rudolph setting off that bomb in Atlanta. But the bigger bullshit is that we blamed it on Richard Jewell, an American hero, ruined his
It's a
life.
good movie with that guy. I like that actor.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
great.
the man.
The one that just called out Vin Diesel.
He called out Vin Diesel.
Yeah, who's the guy that played Richard Jewell, the chunky guy who's awesome as
Yeah.
a late, you know what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, he's
Good.
hilarious.
Paul Chunkers,
Paul Chunkers.
Big Paul,
Big Paul. Everybody knows Big
Paul Bearer,
Paul Bearer.
Paul Walter Hauser.
Yeah,
That's
Paul
Yeah, he
Hauser.
called out Vin Diesel. Someone was like, "You're a lot like Vin Diesel." He's like, "Don't say that. I show up on time and I don't whine."
he's nothing like Vin Diesel.
Damn.
He's got range.
Yeah, he
One-
really does. Good actor.
But as you guys called out, the one funny thing in this whole terrorism thing, in my opinion, about the France games in particular, is that the Seine River is still so disgusting that no one can swim in it currently. If you remember, the protesters were threatening to poop in the river the day Macron was scheduled to swim in it to prove that it's safe right before the Olympics, but that was called off, and the river is already just so full of shit, and E. coli levels are through the roof, so they didn't need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billions of dollars well spent.
Yeah, the Seine River is just disgusting.
They shit rich over there.
Yeah, exactly.
At least he was
oh,
smarter than the Indian politician who actually drank the fucking water and like died or almost died. Like
That
it was
guy's
smart of Macron to call it off. Like
Yeah.
as much as it makes him look like the pussy that he is, it was smart of him to call it off.
Does India not have after effects? They couldn't have edited that in post with him drinking
Right.
water. He had to actually do it.
Nobody should do these water stunts.
The answer is no. They don't have After Effects, Mark.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
but they're
I just
so
hold
good
it
at
close.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are really good at it.
Yeah. A number one SEO, but no After Effects. All right.
So
This,
cheap.
Yeah.
this
that's
is
good.
great. This is great news. Tropical storm Beryl turned into Hurricane Beryl over the weekend and is now officially the earliest Category 4 hurricane over the Atlantic since 1966, which is some bullshit.
That sucks.
Oh,
Yeah.
where's it headed?
Say bye, Florida.
You're about to find no, it's not going to get to Florida. It's going to destroy Mexico and Cancun. But first, it's going to hit Grenada and St. Vincent pretty much right now. They're directly in its path Sunday night. We hope they're okay. Then Grenada, Martinique, St. Lucia, Dominica, and St. Vincent are all in the hurricane's direct path, which is hitting again like right
Well,
now.
if it doesn't
Yeah.
slow it down enough, it could hit, pick up steam again and then hit us. So
Yeah.
Couple
if it,
things.
if it turns.
Grenada and Stuttgart.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, pronunciation not my thing. Thank you. Also, if you look at the path right there, Jamaica on Tuesday gonna get smashed, and then west, not Florida, not or whoever said Florida, not Florida, but look at the Mexico right there. That's Cancun. So just heavily populated Cancun, Jamaica, all directly in the Cat 4's path.
I was saying bye, Florida, just because this is
This
horrible.
summer.
That you have a Cat 4 forming in June, which has never
Correct.
happened before. So hurricane season is getting bigger, more intense, longer. Bye, Florida. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but soon.
Right. They said
Also,
last year was
where-
going to be horrible, but it wasn't. Luckily, but this is bad. This is bad. This is bad.
it depends on where you are. I mean, Houston has been flooding a ton. So I mean,
Houston
if
could be
they
bad,
continue
too.
if they continue to get pounded with rain all hurricane season, that's going to be rough.
Anywhere by the water.
How often Houston gets it once
Anywhere by
every
the water.
6 years? I feel like they get it real
They-
bad.
Recently, they've been flooding pretty regularly in the summer.
Yeah, those
How often does
storms like
Florida
to
get it?
sit right on
They
top
get
of
it
Houston.
yearly.
It's moisture.
Yeah, I mean, everybody
Yeah.
gets hurricane season. The whole Gulf gets it every summer. Yeah,
Yeah.
summer through fall.
So Beryl became only the 6th hurricane ever to strengthen from a tropical depression to a major hurricane in less than 42 hours. It was like, fuck you, I'm going to be huge. The other 5 occurred September 1st or later. So this is just the craziest storm anyone's ever seen.
Right off
This
the bat.
early. Beryl is some bullshit. Hopefully everyone stays safe. Hurricane Alma back in 1966 was the last June major hurricane.
It's Beryl, the nerdy girl you met one time.
There's
Like-
got to be a name, right?
I thought because Beryl and Barrel, so right, like a gun barrel.
BERYL. Like,
I was like,
okay.
yeah, they're
Barrel of fun.
cool. They got cool
Pearl.
with the names.
Like
Right.
old fat big girl Beryl. She's
I
big
met a
girl.
Barrel once, real nerd.
Yeah,
You have to be.
Like you fucked
mean-
Beryl?
you fucked a
I
Beryl.
don't know. No, she was hot.
No, I mean like that's you fucked Beryl?
Yeah.
Yeah. You jammed up Barrel. You jammed up the barrel.
Whoa,
You cleaned the barrel.
dude.
Barrel's a
You
horrible.
licked the barrel.
And why is
Naming
it
your
why is
daughter
it-
Beryl would be is just
Yeah.
oof.
Well,
like
it's
an
an old
old
time.
name.
It's an old
Beryl
timey
being
name.
a guy's name, but
I feel like Beryl's got
Beryl.
generations ago, right? BERYL. That's
Yeah.
that's
Thousands of
Dolores.
years.
That's like hundreds
a-
of years ago. Yeah.
It's a mineral. That's what it is. That's why people. It's like crystal.
I'm kinda-
It's
true.
like a
I'm
nerdy
kind of
crystal.
I'm regretting not naming my son Beryl, like just Beryl, BARREL.
R-R-E-L,
That's a
yeah.
badass name.
Right, like
Beryl
like
Smith.
like yeah, like a pickles or a gun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're
It's fucking Beryl.
unbearable.
Remember in the Depression, people used to wear barrels as clothing. That was like a meme, an early meme.
Did
You'd
they?
be rocking a barrel. You ever see like little carving where like,
Right.
the dude's wearing a barrel and you pick
Yeah, I didn't know
lift
it was
it up
like
and his
a
dick comes out.
everyday thing.
It was
I think
more
it
like
a
with
Depression
people,
era
like,
thing.
like stuck somewhere naked.
Like,
He's so poor. He's so poor. He wears a barrel to work.
It's like
Oh yeah, I
everyday
remember that. honey,
What else is it from?
Honey, where's my green barrel?
Yeah.
Or barrels every
My
day?
church
I don't
barrel.
think-
Where's my-
It's Earth Day.
yeah.
It's got a suit painted on it.
No, dude, I got it up. It's a depression. It's a bank. It's called a bankruptcy barrel.
Well,
And
Hand
it's
you a barrel at the bank like
You can wear
you're
it
it's a
on straight.
symbol
no more clothes.
used in cartoons as a token of destitution.
in
Yeah.
cartoons.
Yeah.
In cartoons. Because
Crazy.
barrels
Yeah.
would be heavy.
He's so broke, dog.
lunacy.
He's rocking
take
a
your
barrel.
house and hand you a barrel. Sorry, buddy.
We didn't have any
Little ones
pants.
for the kids too.
What size are you?
I got a picture. That's it, though. That's the bullshit segment. It's just
It's a fun
hurricanes.
Halloween costume.
Here, I got
Beryl.
a picture of.
Yeah.
Girl. Yeah, no, it is a funny costume. That's what this is, Wes. I think this is like a. I'm trying to pull it up here. Like, I think they
got a
took the
picture of
bankruptcy barrel from the cartoons and they've like turned it into like a little bit of a gag, a little bit of a costume, right? So,
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
yeah.
Inflation costume. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
That was a 2008 barrel that you just put up there, I think.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, they're going to be a 24 one for sure. The inflation.
Do you guys remember? We talked about this before. I don't remember what the exact story was. We were talking about how the decoding of brain waves, right, is being assisted by AI, which will eventually lead to the ability to read a mind. Does that ring a bell for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds familiar.
Right. Yeah. So like, there's been these devices that can, like you put like a EEG on your head. It could read like, brain signals. Well, those brain signals, you would assume if you're thinking the word purple, right, or saying the word purple might elicit a certain pattern of a brain wave. The computer could catalog, and then if you're thinking green, it might be a different brain wave. And
Yeah.
computer
It's like
could learn
everyone
all
turns
those
into a
brainwaves.
twin. Like everyone becomes a twin and they can figure out what everyone's thinking. Right?
It's actually very simple when you think about it, right?
Right. It's when you think about it, it's very simple, but the
knows how you-
computing
Yeah.
to do it would be insane. But AI is allowing for that computing to be seriously possible. Right.
Well, it's improving
and-
upon it because all the ad data work has already done a lot of this, but AI is going to make it even stronger.
If this worked, you'd have to assume we could apply it to like dogs, dolphins,
Exactly. 100%.
other animals, right? You know,
Well, dog, you need a key though. That's the issue with the dog.
yeah.
Right.
Right.
It'd be
You need a
harder, but
key.
this is the first step into like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we talk about this. This is like how fast technology is moving. I think we talked about this last year, and the story wasn't even about like the potential to read minds on the horizon. It was like just essentially the deciphering of brain waves being possible. Well, dude, there's now, this is fucking insane, called it's a product called the Emotive, and it's on sale right now. It's about $1,000. Just a normal headset you can throw on your fucking head and like the Neuralink chip, control your computer with. Look at this. So they dropped a video, like they went and got influencers to promote this. So here's a girl playing, what's the game? Valorant? Where it's a shooting
It's
game?
augmented reality, right?
My
That's
son
what
is
it
obsessed
No,
with you.
no, it's just controlling your computer, straight up regular computer.
Oh no,
screen
this is
with your
Elden
brain.
Ring. She's fighting the boss in Elden Ring.
She's firing a normal gun, like a gun that you could get at the store.
I think I saw this video. This chick's battling like the main boss in Elden Ring, I think.
I think it's Valorant. It could be Elden Ring. Anyway, point is, it's very strange that they went and got an influencer to get a realistic shooting, to play a realistic shooting game with their brain. Check this out.
I'm playing competitive video games with my mind. Thinking of different
Burnt some
actions
dude.
means that I can press different buttons on this virtual controller that I made, and I control joysticks with eye tracking and head movements. I'm painfully average at Valorant normally, so if you're any good, I really want to know what you do with this sort of controller. But for now, here it is. Comment with what you'd want to see me play next.
Yeah, single kills were
Maybe Kubrick.
exciting her. So yeah, I mean, it
This
doesn't
is-
look like she was slaying in there. I mean,
This is becoming popular, Pat, because I saw a different one when she was different girl fighting the Elden Ring boss. Also, I just saw the guy that got like I think the guy who got the Neuralink, he went on the Joe Rogan show and he said that he's now like the best video game player in the world because when you use this, it's just so much faster than having to use your hand because the brainwave
Right.
goes to your hand and then you have to like hit the button. And he goes with like the Neuralink and with this type of stuff, the second you think it shoots perfectly at the person and you're just so much better.
so she's
Right.
normally worse than that. So those 2 kills is like something she would never get in the past.
Well, stop focusing on the quality of her gameplay.
It just wasn't that. I mean, it
Yeah,
wasn't
she's a
that
shitty gamer. Well, she's a shitty gamer.
It's like, yeah, it's fine. Just don't want her on my fucking squad. That's all I'm saying. Don't put her on my team if we're playing. No, okay. So what she's having to do and what this I mean, check this thing out. It's not an ad for a motive. It's just absolutely insane that it's like consumer level technology. You program your own key, right? So whatever movements or thoughts that you want to think, and it can fucking control your mouse and shit. It's nuts. We talked about, Mark, you brought up specifically the Neuralink and how this guy can like play video games insanely well.
Apple Vision Pro he thinks he can win any tournament now.
This is what Apple Vision Pro and augmented reality is supposed to be able to do as well. I mean, that it's really the point of all this stuff is to be able to control things with hand movements and eye tracking, as opposed to having to actually physically interface with anything.
That is true.
That's the whole goal of augmented reality.
Right, but that's the poor man's right now. What I'm talking about specifically is you think the word purple and fucking...
Yeah, this like takes it to the next level.
You murk the dude.
You think headshot.
AI is moving augmented reality to like the next level where it wants to be. It's the next step in it. People have been working on trying to do this stuff for a long time. It's just AI is unlocking, like it's really, technology curve is going to get even faster with AI helping everything.
Right. Anyway, and researchers are fired up about what's coming down the pike in terms of like helping out Alzheimer's, right? So like not only do words have distinctive brainwave patterns, but so do conditions like Alzheimer's, anxiety, and addiction. So researchers are working on ways to reverse those conditions by electrical stimulation to alter the frequencies or the regions of the brain where they originate from. So that's pretty cool.
But for now, we're getting really good at gaming.
Right. Yeah. But what's not cool, guys, what's not cool is according to a survey, 2/3 of the companies that are working on neurotechnology are just banking and selling data to third parties. And they don't disclose where the data is stored or where it's going. So I want you to imagine
it's ad companies.
They're just taking
knowing
your
how
thoughts.
Right, knowing how your brain works is the perfect thing to sell to ad companies, because then they can just
that
fill
guy
your
thinks of tits a lot. We should
with the things that you're
really
most likely to click
has
on.
tits on the mind.
Yeah,
well, he's already on porn.
Crazy.
Well, imagine this situation.
And the government buys all this stuff too. Yeah.
Imagine you have an ad profile right now, right? We know about that, right? That's been built in Google. Imagine if you have a brain profile, and I don't know, you're on trial, you're being investigated for murder.
Yeah.
And they look at it and they can read your thoughts. Or imagine a
we're
scenario
getting close to precogs, yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine a situation where they force one of these fucking things on your head and they're like, all right. And they ask you, did you kill her? And you don't know how to not think that you did if you did or didn't, because they can read your fucking mind.
How come every single one of my ads is for a big titty sex doll?
Anyway. They must have gotten your AI account. They know your info.
Yeah,
we're like a year away from it. It's fucking nuts. Anyway,
sell this guy 20 sex dolls.
There's a neuro rights foundation in Colorado. And they led the passage of the first in the nation law that protects your brain data, specifically in the same way that like your DNA could be used as a fingerprint. It takes effect on August 8th. It's unclear right now which companies will be subject to it, because it only applies to ones that are using data to identify people. But it's a good step, and it's something you should keep an eye out. In the future, they cited the DNA issue, which is like, you shouldn't have ever fucking done. You shouldn't give no one your DNA, and it's already being.
You have to have a chip in your brain to be able for them to do this.
That's absolutely not true, Wes. That's
but you have to be connected to some kind of.
You would have to put a piece of hardware on your brain,
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
But
maybe
in 10 years, probably everyone is gonna. It's like that's going to be the new PlayStation and stuff like that.
Yeah. Maybe you just emit these wavelengths of thoughts out of your brain. You just can't see them yet. Who knows?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe you don't need a piece of hardware.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to expect that the data, it's a for-profit company. You got to expect two things. They're going to use your data to train their system, and they're going to sell your data for profit. I mean, like, I think that like it's not going to. We all were shocked when Google, oh my God, the email company sells your data to all the advertisers, and everybody was clutching their fucking pearls. Get over it. This is
So
fucking,
I knew you would say something like this, but this is mind reading technology, which
mind reading.
can we take a moment and be fired up about that?
Private emails aren't a problem.
I knew Will would say, well, what do you expect?
This sucks.
But it's mind reading.
It's also
crazy.
Pat. It's also really good for like stalkers, and there's something about Mary where he like eavesdrops, then he knows she likes Nepal,
right?
And she likes she says
she's going left, but she's going right at this next turn.
Stalkers will know like what people like and think about. And like,
social media hasn't already done that. I mean,
but it's mind reading technology.
Mind
That's
reading's
cool.
Way another level than
way
someone
more in
like
depth
liking
of your
a post or,
consciousness.
people are fake on social media. You can't be fake in your own mind. Like,
why does it keep serving you?
Strap this thing to your girlfriend when she's sleeping. You find out the truth.
Exactly. Yeah. Why does it keep serving you ads for ugly chicks?
Yeah.
Find out the hard truth.
Yeah, you might. You said my dick was big.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the ultimate lie detector, dude.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. No, it's good. It'd be awesome if you strap it like a fucking terrorist to that.
There's no good that's coming from this.
Oh, no,
except for Alzheimer's.
Very
curing.
good for finding out.
It already has that
crime.
girl getting her KD up in Valorant to like a 0.2. Pretty good.
Which is not impressive. Just use your hands, okay?
That's into this is some bullshit too, Pat. Couldn't done myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of AI spying on us, guys, FedEx or Federal Express was established by this man, grumpy picture taker, and Yale graduate Frederick W. Smith in Little Rock, Arkansas in 1971. Apparently he wrote an essay.
Yeah, he takes some shit. That guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy. Toilet sphere.
That's how he started. He wanted to send people his shits.
Right. How do I get it there faster?
Doctors writing them prescriptions for wider pipes.
He's a big man. According to the FedEx website, Mr. Smith thought the word federal suggested an interest in nationwide economic activity and hoped the name would resonate with the Federal Reserve Bank, a potential customer. And nationwide activity is right. In fact, a new report that just dropped on Forbes has found that the Fed in FedEx might now just stand for feds, as in police officers, because in the discovery, it was found that FedEx is turning its trucks into mobile spy units equipped with cameras that use AI technology, and they are teaming up with police forces around the country to share the camera's findings and vice versa, and the image with local law enforcement to spy on Americans and catch criminals. Okay, so here
is basically CCTV, right? Yeah.
This is a cheery podcast,
but it's mobile CCTV and it uses AI technology.
It's not impressive.
So here is what one of these cameras, stationary, looks like. It's from a company called Flock. And according to Forbes, the firm partnered with $4 billion surveillance startup Flock, and they specialize in automated license plate technology recognition and video surveillance. They already have a fleet of 40,000 cameras, 4,000 cities, 40 states. And the main thing these cameras do, again, is using AI technology. They read license plates. So if you're a fugitive and you're out and you're at a stoplight, this camera will be like, hey, we spotted this guy according to his license plate at the corner of so-and-so and so-and-so. Send please, right? Yeah.
FedEx signed a deal with...
Of course they fucking did. It's money, but this is what's insane. This is why it will never be stopped. Because what happens when our legislators are faced with a decision to protect our civil liberties in the face of a company making a profit? They get lobbied into allowing the company wants to make more money to do whatever the fuck it wants to do.
Well, but yeah, and I mean, law enforcement in the federal government has been up inside cell phones for a really long time. I mean, they've had the ability to track your cell phone. Law enforcement has. I think they may even have the ability to turn it on remotely. And they certainly have the ability to go into the phone logs and get all of your records. So, next step,
presumably with a warrant. They're supposed to.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends. I think a lot of that depends on which program is going after it. Obviously, the Project Prism for the NSA didn't have to get any warrants when they were spying on absolutely all data on all phones.
So FedEx trucks are just looking for license plates now.
So they're just basically surveilling the public as they roam around.
They're going to sell it back. It's just data collection, right?
Yeah,
Very
but they're sharing it with police forces, and vice versa. So here's
not without a subscription. I guarantee that situation. They're not sharing it with police forces.
Well, they're getting
some dough.
I don't know.
It's a you scratch
paying.
my scratch, I scratch yours situation, probably.
Here's a news clip from a couple of years ago talking about these cameras that were stationary that will now be on these FedEx trucks.
Fort Worth suburb of White Settlement plans to expand a video surveillance program.
So police say the program has been successful at getting wanted criminals, including murder suspects, off the streets. Fox 4's Dion Anglin here now with the story. Dion.
Hi there. Well, if you are driving through White Settlement and you have outstanding felony warrants, the chances are
White
greatly
Settlement.
increasing. Police will
town?
spot you.
Change the name of that town.
Rush hour traffic,
Old Town.
Las Vegas Trail and Interstate 30 West. There's more to it than cars on the roadway.
These flock cameras, we're averaging about 15 to 20 alerts a day.
The town of White Settlement, fighting crime with technology. A camera system that reads license plates
But it'll show the officer exactly what the car looks like.
and filters out vehicles connected to fugitives, wanted felons, even missing children.
We've caught a murder suspect out of Fort Worth. We have caught aggravated assault warrants with firearms that are first-degree felonies, up to life in prison. We have recovered about 24 different stolen vehicles in the last 4 months.
White Settlement Police Chief.
Okay. So that's basically how it works is they're just constantly taking photos, and if they catch someone or a license plate, they will send it to police. Now, of course, the ACLU is saying that this is an infringement on your constitutional rights. This guy, Jay Stanley, who is the he's, I guess, the police analyst for the ACLU. He said there's a simple principle that we've always had in this country, which is the government doesn't get to watch everybody all the time, just in case somebody commits a crime, right? The United States is not China, blah, blah, blah. But now FedEx is turning their trucks into mobile cameras that will just
They're a private company
everywhere they go.
So it was Flock.
We're not subject.
Flock, yeah.
FedEx did a deal. It's the same reason why Tesla is worth what it is from the stock perspective. It's the data it's collecting, not the car company. So FedEx was like, oh, we got these cars out here anyway. Flock was like, we'll pay you a fuck ton of money for work you're already doing. And then Flock is selling that to law enforcement agencies.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just up and again. It's like this is
we're down to two names. It's White Settlement or God's a White Man. So let's do the final vote.
White Settlement.
I don't know.
Year was that founded? You got to check the year of that.
Be in front of a FedEx truck, and it's just taking your picture.
Named in 2012.
Yeah, it's definitely taking.
It is creepy, dude.
Sucks.
You can fight that shit with one of those license plate protectors, which are illegal in a lot of states.
Yeah, I mean, good. Hey, they found a murderer. They found a missing kid. That's awesome. I personally don't have a problem with it, but it is creepy.
Well, you gotta have a problem with it.
I don't. I just don't. I'm not doing anything that's wrong. That's a
common way to get your rights eroded. Well, I'm not doing anything wrong, so I don't. Well, why should I care?
It's a weird one. I wonder how, like, somebody will definitely take it to court, right? But I don't know if you can take it away from FedEx because it's just a service that they are providing as like a company that's trying to make money. So I don't know. I mean, I guess the government is if you could prove that it's a government program that is like forcing FedEx to do it, you could maybe get that government program shut down.
I'm sure there's somewhere where the government is involved in encouraging this partnership. Yeah,
has to be.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the jerk off motion every time I see a FedEx truck from now on.
There you go. They'll tape it.
Look for the AI will smile at the FedEx truck.
Yeah,
will catalog your actions, Mark.
They're gonna deliver you a brain reader, Mark. That's what they're gonna do.
We could all take a tip from Pepper Life Adventures. He says he's here at the live stream, but not long. He's going to smoke some weed and fly away to fishing land. So if this is depressing you, all this AI stuff, you could just go fishing too. So just always remember that.
Life Adventures is doing it right.
Yeah. So don't worry. You can always just say, fuck it, smoke some weed and go fishing too, you know, if it's ever too much. Okay. Let's move on to the last story of the day. It's hard to get to space, guys. As we've covered, space travel is harder than it may seem, right? Because like we were there allegedly back in the 60s. Now we haven't been there on the moon for over 50 years. Recently, we've seen Boeing abandoning astronauts at the ISS.
Are those guys still there? I haven't checked. Are they still there?
NASA says they're not stranded. Don't worry. They're just not coming home yet.
They're just staying in space forever.
Another couple more spacewalks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just staying out there forever because the ship doesn't work. We saw India and Japan. Yeah, that's not stranding. Okay, that's just a temporary stay that was unplanned. India and Japan, we saw them land on the moon, but then they lost their landers immediately after landing. Again, I mentioned the permanently delayed NASA Project Artemis trying to get us back to the moon after over 50 years. It's not easy to get into space, onto the moon, onto other planets, and neither is testing. Take, for example, the Chinese space program. Okay, we've talked about them a lot recently. They're fresh off their huge dark side of the moon sample launch, back to Earth. Those samples got back to Earth last week. And China was flying high on their space program until this weekend, because we got to take it over to the tiny town of Gongyi, central China, where Chinese contractor Space Pioneer was doing routine ground engine testing on their Tianlong 3 rocket this Sunday, when all of a sudden, out of nowhere, quote,
due to the structural failure of the connection between the rocket body and the test platform, you see, the first stage rocket separated from the launch pad.
AKA, the rocket took off and exploded into the hills of the surrounding small town, Gongyi, China. And here's the video of all the locals watching in horror. This thing just out of nowhere, and nobody knows.
There it goes. Going good.
Watch it up. And it's
all the camera work.
Well, they're stopped, Mark.
This thing going a little sideways here. It's going a little sideways. That's not the right direction. It should be gone.
Now is when you hit the bomb shelter.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Boy. This is falling.
Flaming rocket.
Dude.
It's about to
How big is
separate
this explosion going to be?
families from their homes.
Probably pretty big. No, Mark, luckily
From
you can laugh at
bodies from
everything.
their souls.
Yeah, it's about to separate already.
Yeah. No, it just crashes down into the hills. Look at that shit. Boom.
Dude,
Atom bomb.
this is like the third Chinese rocket. They don't do it on the coast. Why don't they do it on the coast like we do it on the coast? So if it goes wrong, it goes in the ocean.
Good point.
I don't know. Straight over central China. Badly.
It's like apartment buildings within half a mile.
Dude, like that's like us launching a fucking rocket from like Nebraska,
Miami
Colorado.
Beach.
No, it's crazy.
Miami Beach makes more sense.
Nobody understands. Nobody understands. Taking it to Reddit for some translated Chinese social media comments. They're like, how did this rocket appear in a small town? And then there's other people like, I didn't expect there's a rocket base so near Zhengzhou, sweaty face. I'm from Gongyi. I didn't know the base exists until the incident happened. I was scared to death.
Oh no, it blew up a secret lab.
So it's just like all the Chinese locals had no fucking idea that this rocket base was even
What
there.
a day. You look up, there's a rocket being launched.
Dude, exploding over your tiny ass town, right?
Damn.
And then
It was a very effective missile. That was a pretty impressive bomb.
yeah, no, if they wanted to fuck it up completely, they did a great job of that. Also, clearly, a lot of people on the internet commenting saying it was probably human error since the accidental launch of a rocket happened during rocket testing and all that. you know,
Right.
pretty high
Imagine
odds
if your
error.
package was on that rocket,
Yeah.
like
Well, you'd be
your
upset.
delivery.
Yeah. I just want to send some stuff up to the people on the ISS.
It should be here any day. Just waiting
Yeah.
for the rocket to launch from China. Oh God, damn it!
Yeah.
Well, you'd think, Pat,
That's
that
fast
they'd had
now.
the Tianlong 3 that far along. And while the Chinese government and Space Pioneer, the company that builds the Tianlong 3, say that rocket is just as good as the Falcon 9s from SpaceX, here's a video taken within the same week of Americans watching those SpaceX rockets land safely back on Earth after
That's
another
one.
successful launch. And there's just, you hear his son and his dad.
There's
watch
two.
Magical show. But then just
it's so
landing
impressive.
back.
Dude, look how
Notice
this
how
is
it's just
top.
water, just water up.
Yeah, nothing but safety and proper
That is
rocket
sick,
launch.
dude.
Are they lighting off their own fireworks?
Yeah, 'cause they're celebrating. 'Cause it's
Yeah, that's
that beautiful.
That's impressive.
Right. So, if the bait accidentally exploding onto a small local town Tianlong 3 experimental rocket that's never actually launched for real yet, besides the accidental explosion, isn't quite as good as the Falcon 9s. So maybe pump the brakes a little bit, China. Nice moon launch off the dark side with the samples. Your rocket sucks. It
just give Elon all the space stuff already. Quit fucking around. He can do that. Just give him all of it.
That's also why
number one. Elon's number one.
No SpaceX stock. Yeah,
you got to check Elon, dog. He's when Starlink
check someone that lands rockets like that. It's impossible.
Well, you're so impressed that they land rockets like that, Wes. You're so impressive.
I am.
These are rockets, Wes.
There's an entire nation of China.
Come on, Wes.
Like that.
They've been Wes. These are rockets, okay? It's nothing. You don't think that they haven't been landing rockets like that for weeks?
Over. Give them all the internet over the globe. Give them all of outer space. Give them land.
I mean, those rockets look.
Yeah. I guess, guys, it's kind of impressive. I mean, if you're not keeping up with rocket landing technology like I do.
Can we just elect Elon Musk,
Pat, the other one is
president of the globe?
The only closest one is this Tianlong 3 that just exploded itself all over a small town in China.
It landed all right.
Oh, you think there's never mistakes with rocket launches, okay?
I don't think that Elon's ever accidentally launched one off the pad. That's super embarrassing.
Yeah.
That was bad. That was 2 in a row rockets. I've never seen 2 in a row.
That was 2 that landed perfectly.
Right next to each other.
Yeah.
Inch perfect landing.
Just incredible stuff. I mean, it's like synchronized dancing.
Here they come. Perfect landing.
Except you've seen one, you've seen them all.
He's got that space stuff down. He should get out of Tesla and just move everything to the SpaceX.
No, I think that's why he keeps SpaceX private, to keep because he knows how valuable it is, and so it makes him so much more. It makes his other stuff that probably isn't as valuable, Tesla and Twitter, more valuable.
Every time I see
Twitter sucks. He screwed Twitter. Keep him in space.
Every time I see a Cybertruck on the road, which is often in Austin, like this weekend, I just I chuckle. I laugh when a Cybertruck drives by because they're such fucking nerds.
They're stupid. Yeah, they're stupid looking.
They just recalled them all. There shouldn't be any on the roads.
Oh, they're on the roads.
Recall doesn't mean that you gotta fully.
If you bought a Cybertruck, you're never giving it.
And it depends on what the recall is for. If it's
always smiling,
your brakes will.
The best part, there's even one in my neighborhood which sticks out like a sore thumb. It shouldn't be in this neighborhood. And the best part's when they rust.
Yeah,
idiots! Cool. You let your Cybertruck rust, you moron.
The rust wrap is actually pretty cool. People are getting ahead of it by wrapping it in rust color.
Yeah. There you go. That's kind of funny
because it protects it from the actual rust. Looks cool. All right, that's the show. As always, patreon.com/hard factor if you want more, up to 3 weekly bonus podcasts. We're about to go tape one of those right now. Let's go about sports. We also have the Hive Hour every week, just bullshitting. And then, of course, Florida Man Friday every Friday. Patreon.com/hard factor if you want to support the pod. Most importantly,
hang on. Sorry. So there was a ton of people. We did a live stream. It was one of our better live streams ever for the debates. Sorry. So if you didn't, we did it. We did a 90-minute debate and we recapped it. It was only on Twitter. So if you tried to get it on YouTube, a ton of people asked us, "Hey, I thought you were doing a live stream." It's on Twitter, and we'll do it again next time. But we didn't really recap the debates today. We did a 2-hour show on the debate live.
Right. So go on our Twitter page X and watch that. We did the entire live commentary plus RFK's debate performance that he did too. So we covered everything that night. X is the only place that wasn't going to DCMA us or whatever for running the simulcast of the debate. So that's why it's only on X. Everywhere else was saying, CNN would shut you down. So go watch that. Good point, Mark. Most importantly, get out there and have yourselves a great fucking day.